You're welcome to Gifted Brain Educational Aid online math class. In today's class, we are going to be examining one of the most very interesting topic in mathematics, which is called variation. But before we go into variation, we are going to look at the meaning of the word variation. Variation simply means, according to my definition here on the board, variation is the relationship. This word is very key in relationship. Variation is the relationship that exists between two or more variables. In this context, variable can be x, y, a, b, and so on and so forth. But the most commonly used variables in variation is x and y. Now, before we proceed or before we go further, I'm going to be introducing the symbols which are used in variation. This is the first symbol which is used in variation, and this one is the sign of variation, which also means proportional to. Now, the second symbol is our constant of proportionality, which is k. Now, we are going to be looking at types of variations. We have four major types of variations, which is the first one is direct variation. Second one is inverse variation, the third one is joint variation, and the fourth one is partial variation. But we are going to be taking it one step at a time. So today, class, we are going to be focusing on direct variation. Look at the word direct variation, direct variation. Now, in direct variation, an increase in quantity x will always lead to an increase in quantity y. That is, as x is increasing, y is also increasing, and vice versa. If y is decreasing, x will also be what? Decreasing. Now let's look at the mathematical expression of direct variation. If we have x varies directly as y, every direct variation is always in this form mathematically. If we have x varies, now don't forget I told us at the beginning of the class that this sign of variation means proportional to, and you can sometimes read this as directly varies as. Now for this one now, I can read it as x varies directly as, or I can read it as x is directly proportional to. So any of the two, according to the question given to you. Now, when we have a direct variation, if x varies directly at y, that means x is equals to y. This y is always multiplied by a constant of what? Proportionality, which is what? K. As it was introduced earlier from the beginning of the class. Now, the relationship between x and y in direct variation will always give you x equals to ky, where k is your constant of proportionality. Don't forget, x and y is called variables, and k is your constant of proportionality, and this sign is called the sign of variation, which simply read as x is directly proportional to y, or x varies directly as y. In the next video, I'm going to be explaining, or we are going to be treating some examples to illustrate direct variation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel.